I'll start again. Antarjyotihi Bahirjyotihi Pratyakjyotihi Paratpara. Antarjyotihi Bahirjyotihi Pratyakjyotihi Paratpara. Jyotireva Jyotihi Atmajyoti Paranjyotihi Shivosmyaham. Jyotireva Jyotihi Atmajyotihi Paranjyotihi Shivosmyaham. So this is a prayer respecting the self. It says, I am the supreme light of awareness, illuminating the outer world of objects, that is Bahir Jyotihi. Supreme light illuminating the inner world of thoughts, that is Antar Jyotihi. And then illuminating the deep sleep state, that is Pratyak Jyotihi. I am the divine light of the nature of auspiciousness, that is Shivosmyaham. Atmajyotihi is the light of awareness. Jyotireva Jyotihi, I am the light of all lights. So this is from the Brahma Jnana Valimala by Shankaracharya. Now we will chant Guru Vandana because this has come to us through a long lineage of Sadgurus. So we are offering our gratitude, our reverence, respect to all these gurus in the lineage. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Vakanda Mandalakaram, Vakanda Mandalakaram, Vyaptam Yena Characharam,
Vyaptam Yena Characharam,
Tatpadam Darshitam Yena, Tatpadam
Darshitam Yena,
Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha.
Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha.
Narayana Samarambhat, Narayana
Samarambhat,
Shankaracharya Madhyamam,
Shankaracharya Madhyamam,
Asmadacharya Paryantam,
Asmadacharya Paryantam,
Vande Guru Paramparam,
Vande Guru Paramparam,
Sada Shiva Samarambhat, Sada
Shiva Samarambhat,
Asmada Shankaracharya Madhyamam,
Shankaracharya Madhyamam,
Asmadacharya Paryantam,
Asmadacharya Paryantam,
Vande Guru Paramparam, Vande
Guru Paramparam.
Om Shanti
Shanti.
Let us offer our pranams to Sri Narasimha Prabhuji, who has actually started this venture and given us a great opportunity of studying Vedanta to understand and share. So his vision of better Gurukul We're starting in a small way and we will all try to fulfill it. The light of Vedanta illumining every household and bringing the bliss of the self to everyone. So, once again, welcome to all of you. And I will stop sharing for the present. So, just as we have started to share, since we are studying Tattva Bodha, Tattva Bodha means the understanding or knowledge of essential nature of our own being, essential nature of the world. And Vedanta means why do we study Vedanta? So that is a question we may ask ourselves. Why should we study? I was quite happy. I was happy with my life. I'm doing whatever I like. Yes, lots of hiccups are there, ups and downs are there, but somehow I'm continuing to deal with it. So why should I start studying Vedanta? So people may have told us also, Vedanta is very tough, very complicated. It's in Sanskrit, you can't understand. It goes above your head. It's boring. We may have heard all kinds of things about Vedanta. But actually, while listening to these talks, I think most of us will have understood Vedanta is not about something else. Vedanta is very, very intimate because it's about me. It's all about me, nothing else. It's teaching me about my own essential nature. It's teaching me how to be, how to get permanent happiness. And I don't even have to get it because I am happiness. So while listening to all these talks from T1 to T8, I think Prabhuji has made it very, very clear to us why we need to study Vedanta, what is Tattva Bodha, and all of you have been listening to it. So I think it will be nice that we start sharing. And as we share, maybe at the beginning of, uh, just before you begin to share, you could introduce yourself once so that that also goes into the recording that we are making. Very briefly introduce yourself and then share your understanding. It is important we are sharing our understanding, not remembering and recalling. So we have understood and we are sharing what we have understood. And while sharing, also related to our own day-to-day lives. Because Vedanta is about making life easier, isn't it? About making life happier, about bringing the right perspective to life. So as we share, we could also relate it to ourselves and our own day-to-day lives and how we will benefit from it. So I think the first talk Ramesh ji will be sharing. I request all others we will keep our mics muted because otherwise it echoes. So we will keep it muted and Ramesh Daswani ji, I request you to start sharing.
Yeah, so this is Ramesh, and I have introduced earlier to the group. Never mind. I am basically from Chennai, but due to some event, we have relocated to Coimbatore for some time uh, to take care of our newborn grandson. And I was given this assignment to talk on the first talk of T1. And briefly, Vaniji just informed that to understand the essential nature of ourselves and the world is the gist of Tattva Bodha. So, the Prabhuji has explained in his video, giving various examples One of the example he gives is of the cup and the tea. We use cup for drinking tea, but that is only the superficial nature of the cup. What is the essential nature of the cup? Is the mud. It is made of mud and it will merge back into the mud. But when we are using it, we don't recognize what it is made of, but only see the essential superficial nature. Likewise, he gives a very beautiful example of Hanuman. After the war is over, uh, all the three, Rama, Sita, Lakshman, are seated, and Rama asked Sita to honor Hanumanji, who was very good help in, uh, in the fight against Ravana. So Sita takes out a beautiful mala, a necklace, pearl necklace, and presents it to Hanuman. Now, after receiving this beautiful, precious necklace, Hanuman just takes out one piece by one piece and he puts it in mouth, breaks it, and sees if there's anything inside. If there's nothing, he keeps on throwing every piece. So everyone was surprised that here is a precious gift which Sita Mata has just given him, and he is breaking it away and throwing the pearls. So Sita ji asked him, Hanumanji, what are you looking for in each pearl that you are throwing away, cutting it open? He says, I am trying to find the Lord in it. So uh, that was his conviction that Lord is everywhere. Is it in this pearl? So like that, we have to find our essential nature, recognize it, and find it around. This is the gist of study of Tattvabodha. Now, we all are called human beings, but do we concentrate only on human or do we concentrate on being? What we have done, we only look at the human part of it. The human part includes what we wear, what we think, what society thinks of us, and we behave according to the social norms. This is all human. But the being part remains untouched. Only when we study a text like Tattva Bodha or Vedanta, we explore our inner being and then come to the conclusion that we can be more human when we know our being and dwell in our being. So, this is what I gathered. So, we have to shift our attention from human to the being, and as we shift our attention from the BMI, body, mind, and intellect, which is human part, to the being part, which is without these attributes, a pure silence, as Ramana describes it, then we will become more adaptable to the changes also, because that is the unchanging part in us. The changes will happen to the human side, but the being remains unchanged. So it's like Arunachala, which is Achala, in which there is no movement, but against which we see all the movements. So this in gist is the basic understanding of what Tattva Bodha is about, to recognize ourself, our own being, and find it in the world also. So with this, I conclude my talk today. Thank you.
Thank you, Ramesh ji. That was beautiful. Very well summarized, and not summarized, very well understood and shared. And I now request the person doing the second talk, E2. I think it is
I'm Preeti.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm Preeti. And I've been listening to Prabhuji for last 2 years. But I realized that, until you do it as a study, it's a very superficial understanding. Like you don't even tend to remember it so much because you haven't really been to the depth of it.
Yes.
I can recollect my journey, a spiritual journey. It was about 25 years back. All my three children moved out from here, and I had gone for this program, live program, where they asked us to make what is the aim in your life now at this point. And I recollect saying that I want to grow myself. So it was what I was referring to. I want to know myself. I want to realize my spiritual self. And that's where the journey started very baby steps, starting to go for classes. And frankly, initially, nothing went into my head because we had no background of Vedanta. But slowly now I have realized that it's a journey which one cannot stop. It has to continue because it's such a subject that you need to be constantly in touch with it. I listened to Guruji and I realized, yes, Tattva Bodha is the foundation text for us because without that, without knowing the true nature of oneself, one cannot go to other texts. This is the most basic text where it tells you the nature of a human being. And human is, of course, the body, mind, your sex, and the part you play in this life. And being is what truly you are. Being is your true nature, which is the world and yourself are all on the substratum of Brahman or God or whatever name you can call, the truer self. And that is knowing that self is what brings us peace and lack of stress. Because body keeps changing, mind keeps changing. We are at different stages in our life, from childhood to youth, from youth to old age, and all those changes continue in our lives. But the understanding has to come that the real you or your true nature is something which is not changing. Once we come to that understanding, then life is going to be very, very easy for us. And we will go through problems, but we are able to face them by staying with the thought that I'm Brahman, or I'm God, or I'm that self who I'm not the physical self which keeps changing, and that gives you a kind of satisfaction. And Guruji, Prabhuji has given the example that you have to know your essential nature. And he gave the example which Rameshji's already pointed out of the cup, and the cup's shape, name, everything is the superficial nature, and mud is the essential nature. Once we get down to these understandings, it is easier for us to get on in everything in life, in every anything that we see in this world, which is changing. So the moment we get to the crux of it, that it is our essential nature to be Brahman, I think it gives us a lot of strength to continue. And human is again your physical self, whereas being is your true self. And that's the truth that we have to stick to and continue. uh, then I am, when we say I am, I is the real, the Brahman in us. Being is sorry, I'm sorry, I is the one which keeps changing. Like I'm this, I'm that, I'm going to do this. It's we are always referring to our outer self, but being is the true nature of us. And when person dies, being is the consciousness in us. When a person dies, his consciousness leaves, and the body is disposed. And it is that body is an instrument through which the consciousness operates. So once the body dies, once the consciousness moves away, the body is of no use. And so recognizing the nature which is unchanging, which is God or Atma, is most essential for us, which is our essential nature. And that is what gives us the satisfaction in this life and helps us to continue on our spiritual journey. I am, I exist. That means I exist. I is the consciousness which does not change. M is the existence which is always changing. So we cannot not to mix with body consciousness. Mixing the two brings about this stress, and we are never clear about it. But every time you ask yourself that who am I, or what is my true nature, then that gets you little away from the physical self or the outer nature. This is my understanding. Thank you.
Wonderful, Preeti ji. That was very eloquent and very well shared. Thank you so much. I think we
Thank
will
you.
move on to the T3. That is Chandrika, is it?
Yes, madam. Yes. Hello, everybody. Can you hear me? Hello. Hello, everybody. I'm
Yeah.
Chandrika Srinivas. I'm Chandrika Srinivas, a retired bank employee. After my retirement, I started learning all the spiritual. I
Yeah, we
came
can
into
hear
the
you.
spirit.
We can hear you very well.
Okay, madam. Okay, thank you. So, this spiritual world was something different for me. What I learned from my mother was only chanting of slokas, doing regular puja and all. My mother was not able to tell me about myself, which I am trying to understand now. I was only busy in doing puja and all. Now, after going to Prabhuji's classes and also meditation and circle lectures, I learned there is something inside me which is real me, not this external body. This body, mind, and intelligence is only for the superficial world, that is for the external life. That is some one person, one great person has told, we have to have two chambers in us, one for the outer world, the other chamber is for our own self. So when after completing your uh, business, I mean this outer world transactions, if you can spend at least 5 to 10 minutes a day for yourself, sit calm, meditate, you will be able to hear that small voice inside. That requires lot of practice, lot of the real effort. With that, we can definitely understand our true nature. So, Shankaracharya was the person who tried to explain this transactions, and also spend a little time. As a family person, we will not have that much of time. Younger days are spent for something, some playful things, and then earning, and after some time we will be retired. Our body will have become weak. But to tell you the truth, our Atma never gets tired. It's always active, whether you are old or young. Your Atma always keeps helping you in all circumstances. So, that internal strength, what we call, is very much needed for everybody to survive in this society, was made very clear in the talks of Shankaracharya. Prabhuji is also trying to help us. We are just we are just in the beginning, first step. We are not able to understand this because our mind and body was completely immersed in this worldly affairs only. Now I am to tell you the truth. I am opening my eyes to Prabhuji's talks and also other material which is provided now and is helping me a lot. So, Tattva Bodha is basically about to know ourselves. If you know yourself, you will be able to survive. Prabhuji always keeps telling one example of ocean and necklace. Necklace and waves, sorry. Waves and necklace have no original, that is all superficial. The basic essence of both is ocean is water, necklace means gold. If you to know the true sense of every aspect in life, it is nothing but the reality, that is Atma and Brahman. When we start recognizing ourselves with the true nature, none of our body uh, elements are separate from the nature. Everything is given to us by nature. So, when we understand nature and ourselves are the same, it is nothing but understanding Brahman, who is everywhere and in the world. So Prabhuji keeps, he has given an example of human being. Human means it is only the superficial world that has nothing to do for the development of ourselves. Being is unchanging and it always helps us in strengthening our spiritual nature and will take us to moksha. Moksha is nothing but understanding the true nature of ourselves, which we are already there. So Prabhuji keeps repeatedly telling in all his lectures, ನಾನು ನಾನೆಂಬುದು ನಾನಿಲ್ಲ, ಈ ದೇಹ ಮನಬುದ್ಧಿ ನಾನಲ್ಲ, ಸಚ್ಚಿದಾನಂದ ರೂಪ ಶಿವ ನಾನೇ, ಶಿವೋಹಂ ಶಿವೋಹಂ ಶಿವೋಹಂ. We are just the part and parcel of Brahman, that is the God who is always in us and also in the world, in the outside world. That is my understanding about Tattva Bodha. Thank you.
Thank you, Chandrika. That was beautifully shared. And now I think we have Nirmala ji doing the T4, fourth talk on Tattva Bodha by Prabhuji.
So I'm Mrs. Nirmala Srinivasan, living in T Nagar, Chennai, and I have 3 children. They have grown up and they have gone to their places, different places, and now as I'm empty nesting, I have got into study of Vedanta, and I like this Vedanta very much because it tells me more about my real unchanging nature. All along, I have been fully into thinking of my body, my children, and there have been lots of ups and downs, and it is really I got to question myself. What is it really which is the truth? What is my goal? What I should do? This is not it. This is not it. This is not what I have been born for. That must be some ulterior goal. That is when I came across Vedanta and I got to read about and hear lectures and feel very secure that, uh, really this is the reaching, knowing the self is the goal, the higher goal, and which is very comforting and feeling very secure. So my topic for today is Ramana Bhagwan. When you go to him, he'll ask you to ask the question, "Who am I?" At that time, we tell him, "I am a woman. I am young. I am old. I am beautiful. I am this. I am that." In all this, the common thing is I am. When I was a child, I am. When I am a woman, I am. When I'm an old woman, still I am. So the I am doesn't change. So all other uh, body and it is and all the changes happen. So it is between I am being and me, the human part, the body, the skills I learn, I'm married, all that changes. So these two are absolutely different ones. I am is existence, am is existence, I is consciousness, and you know the awareness, when once you are aware of this existence and consciousness, you will realize it's true for everyone. It is very universal. I am, I am remains constant. I do not change. Whereas all this is a man, woman, profession, body, beautiful, handsome, everything is changing. Schooling, marriage, becoming old, everything is changing. So, and this is imperishable. I am is imperishable, and me is perishable. The example Prabhuji gives is when you are in a train, standing train, unmoving train, the in the next railing, the another train, running train comes. You feel your train is moving. So what happens is the uh, Atma appears changing when you connect with yourself, with your body. Um, the the features of body comes into Atma, and the Atma's features, you know, depict in body. Somebody dies, somehow we have a feeling, I will never die. That is the feature of Atma. Our body is going to die, but we have taken Atma's feature of I will never die. So it is when you mix up the qualities of perishable things, we are mixing it up with the imperishable thing. The tattva is not changing, but this human body is all the time changing. Consciousness is the real nature. If we just hold on to that all the time, be aware of ourselves, whatever changes happens, we will not be affected. Yes, there will be changes happening, but we will not have such big jolts, because we know, after all, we are that unchanging self, real consciousness. We are the existence consciousness. We are the Brahman itself. So we feel very secure. There is an example in Dubai. One big rich merchant uh, asked one Swamiji to come for Bhiksha, and then after that, he took the Swamiji to a go down. He was a rich gold merchant. So he said, Swami, you can pick up anything. So the Swamiji said, be careful, what do you want to give me? He said, no, Swami, you can take. This is my Guru Dakshina. So he said, give me gold. The room was full of gold jewelry. So when he asked gold, the whole thing belonged to him. So once we attach ourselves to the real nature, we are everyone. We are the one. So we feel very secure and without any risk, and we feel very happy, and we can love the whole world. Thank you.
Thank you, Nirmala ji. That was beautiful sharing of your understanding, and I think we've all benefited from it. Thank you so much. And now we ask Sumaji to share her understanding with us.
Namaste everyone. I'm Suma Sharma, architect from Bangalore speaking. I have had the privilege of my parents studying Vedanta. I have seen them studying every day without fail in a very detailed manner. But, I did not take any interest those days. I was busy in my education and other things. But these shlokas and all are very familiar to me because my mother used to chant, and they also used to study the Shankar Bhashya. So there was a subtle background provided to me, which I consider I'm really blessed to have been like that. And my parents have left me a lot of books which they have written. I hope to read them sometime and understand what they've written. And Vani's friendship has led me to this meditation and satsang group, which has, ignited the interest in studying again. I am really grateful to Vaniji for this. So I was listening to these lectures, and why should we study Vedanta was one of the fundamental questions which I think is very popular amongst the people. So this is, it is required to for us to understand the beingness of the human being. This Tattva Bodha helps us to awaken this feeling of being. And although everyone treats you as human, we should try to awaken that feeling of being, and we should not get lost in that transactions which include us as human. That is, I'm mother of daughters, I'm a daughter of so and so, I'm wife of so and so, I'm a teacher teaching XYZ. These are all the things that define me in a worldly way, but I'm unaware of who I am. That has to be discovered by myself, and nobody else can do it for me. So this is what has to be learned. So if we keep on nurturing only the human part of it, the being part of it gets neglected. And to nurture that beingness or the tattvam, we have to have discussions, we have to attend the lectures, we have to study the books and understand what it is, and we can become better human beings. So this is what I understood. And what we have to do, what we have to think is how stress develops is we are engrossed only in our human nature and we have neglected being. So that is when we get the stress, and we all have the desire to become big and expand. And how do we expand? We are thinking only in the terms of maybe earning more, becoming successful, having more friends, being more powerful. But we have to realize whatever we do, like we have started earning more than what we were doing last year, but there is somebody else who is earning much more than what we have earned. Similarly, becoming successful by making name and fame, probably somebody gives a music performance and becomes famous. So there is somebody else who is more better than that person and more famous than that person. So this is not the only thing. Whatever we do, somebody is there who is bigger or more successful. So everywhere, if we keep on just pushing this, we get frustrated, and the limitations will also start hitting us. That is the age, the health, the effectiveness, etc., etc. And even with all the beauty treatments and surgeries, we cannot become young. So this leads us to conclude that the problem cannot be solved at body level. Then we have to start looking inwards and start discovering who we are. This recognition of I being infinite is the jnana. I is the consciousness or chit. Am is the existence or sat, and ananda is to be searched. Anantam is ananda. The one which does not have an end is called ananda. Searching ananda is life. And we have to sat, chit, and chit is there. We have to look for ananda. That should become our purpose of life. So this is what I understood. Then we have this shloka, Tattva Bodha. Namami Bhagavat Padam Shankaram Loka Shankaram. This is how Prabhuji starts the lecture. Then we have Vasudevendra Yogindra Natva Jnana Pradam Gurum Mumukshunam Hitarthaya Tattvabodho Abhidhiyate. So Sri Shankaracharya is praying to his guru Vasudeva Yogi, one who has given him knowledge. Actually, his guru is Govinda. Sri Krishna is called Govinda and also Vasudeva. Vasudeva is the one who lives in the heart. Vasati iti Vasudevaha, that is Paramatma. Govinda is another name of Krishna. Vasudeva is also a name of Krishna, and both are being used by Shankaracharya to invoke to state the purpose of this shloka. So Tattvabodha is a textbook which helps us to understand Vedanta, and it also says Ishvaro Gururatmeti. That is, Ishvara is also simultaneously, Shankara is praying to God, Ishvara, and when God is placed, Guru is sent to preach us Adhyatma. To get that Atmajnana, we need Guru. Without Guru, we cannot learn Atmajnana. the Guru's purpose is to uncondition ourselves. Over a period of time, we would have conditioned our mind. This is right, that is wrong, that is wrong. And so many misconceptions would be there. And Guru's help is really required to uncondition ourselves. And the purpose of this prayer is to also say briefly benefit mumukshu. Mumukshu is the one who wants moksha, the one who has a strong desire to attain moksha. And when you recognize your true Atma, your bliss is discovered. Tattvabodha is the knowledge of reality. So this is what is to be assimilated by us. This is what the author Shankaracharya says. This book, Sadhana, first it says, Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampannadhikarinam Moksha Sadhana Bhutam Tattva Viveka Prakaram Vakshyamaha. This is, we'll explain for those who are endowed with the fourfold qualification, sadhana chatushtaya, the mode of discrimination, which is the means of liberation. This book is intended for four qualities, four bold qualities, who are also looking for moksha, that is mumukshuhu. Methodology is to attain discrimination. Action.
I think you have finished two talks.
Yeah.
T5 and T6 also.
Yeah, right.
So T7 you can leave. I will share about T7.
Okay.
And Prabhaji will share about T8. Actually, you have helped me a lot because T6 was allotted to Rosie Deviaji. And you have taken up that slack by sharing about T6.
Okay.
So that is wonderful, and entire sharing was wonderful. Thank you so much. Very helpful to all of us.
Okay, thank you so much.
So I will take on the 7th talk, T7. And at the outset, I would like to offer my pranams to Sri Narasimha Prabhuji, who is guiding me on the path of Atma Vichara, who is the founder of Atmajyoti Satsang or Light of the Self Foundation, and he has given us this wonderful opportunity to be together as a group and study Vedanta together, teach each other as we walk on the path, because Vedanta is really the science of consciousness. It's going to teach us about ourselves. So here we in T7, in T6 we learned that Shankaracharya, or the talk 6 we learned that Shankaracharya has authored this entire book of Tattva Bodha for the sake of mumukshus. Mumukshus are all of us. All the 7 of us gathered here, we are also mumukshus. Our purpose in life is to understand ourselves so that we realize that we are bliss, we are peace. We have heard so much till now that I am is the unchanging part in me, that is the being part in me, and the other part, I am the body or I am the mind, whatever we attach to I am, that is the changing part, and that is the human part. So we identify with the human part and we forget about the changeless part or the being part, which is my essential nature. So in this first shloka of Sadhana Chatushtaya, of first shloka of Tattva Bodha, Sri Shankaracharya is setting out the eligibility criteria. If we want to join anything, I want to join medicine. I'm sure we all have children, or maybe even some of us grandchildren who are studying in higher courses. So if somebody wants to join engineering or medicine or dentistry or whatever, pre-qualifications are required. You have to pass your 10th standard, you have to pass PUC, you have to take CET exam, you have to score well, then you can join one of those courses. So in the same way, for anybody who wants to read this book, normally we read a book only if it applies to us, isn't it? So here Shankaracharya is saying, see, this applies to mumukshus, those who are interested in understanding themselves. This book is for that. The purpose of this book is self-knowledge. So if you are happy with that purpose, then this book is for you. But wait a minute, okay? The purpose is not the only thing. You also should be able to understand this book. You should be able to apply it in your day-to-day life. So you should be eligible. You should have the eligibility criteria. So he is in this shloka first setting out the first criteria. So he says, sadhana chatushtaya sampanna adhikarina moksha sadhana bhutam tattva viveka prakaram vakshyamaha. Vakshyamaha, I am telling you, what is the criteria. So sadhana chatushtaya sampanna, the wealth of sadhana chatushtaya, that will come in future shlokas. We are coming to the first of the sadhana chatushtaya, the 4 qualifications, the first one. So the first one, the adhikari for this, is that he should have Viveka. So what is Viveka? So moksha sadhana bhutam, that is for those who are focused on attaining moksha. Then he is saying there are 2 types of achievement in life. Prabhuji says, Tattva Viveka Prakaram. There is a methodology in which you can use discrimination. All of us are using discrimination every day. For anything we do, we decided to join the study circle. That also was an act of discrimination. We thought it over and then we decided. So like that, discrimination is used for 2 types of achievement in life. One is to do something and get something. So Prabhuji is giving us the example of a house. If I want to build a house, I have to earn that money or I have to take a loan. So there is an action and there is a result from that action. In the same way, now moksha is not like that. I do something, I get moksha. No, it is not like that. Moksha is that I already have it. No, that's the beauty of it. We need not get scared at all because we are already the self. We are already Satchidananda. We are already bliss. The only thing that is required is I have to recognize it. That's all. So how much time does it take to recognize that I am something? That is the only amount of time it will actually take for me to recognize I am the self also. The only thing is that there is a process for us to follow. So what is this process is what Prabhuji is telling us in this. He says if I acquire something, that means I get something, then there is a chance that I will also lose it. We buy a mobile, we keep it somewhere, we forget and we lose it. But moksha is not like that. An understanding of my true nature, which I already am, I cannot lose it because I did not get it. I am already that. So it is to this category, the category of recognizing what I already have and not getting what I don't have. It belongs to that category. So what should we do in order to recognize our true nature? And Prabhuji is saying the application of intelligence in the right way. By doing that, we will be able to use Viveka to recognize our true nature. So when I want to get something, it takes me time. If I have to earn enough money to build a house, if I take a loan to pay back that loan, it may take me even 30 years. But just to recognize what I have doesn't take any time. So Prabhuji has given us a story also. There is a lady who lost her necklace and she's weeping. And then somebody comes and asks her, why are you weeping? So she says, I lost this beautiful gold necklace. And he says, what are you wearing around your neck? And the lady says, oh, that's my necklace. So that is recognition. The recognition of something that we already have. In our day-to-day life, we are using discrimination. We say this mobile is better than that, so I'll buy it. These vegetables are more fresh than those, so I will by these vegetables. Outer world, we are always using Viveka. But in our inner world, suddenly we get up in the morning, we are fine, and then something happens, and I say, oh, I'm so depressed. So why are we doing that? Why are we saying, I'm so depressed? That is the problem, that I'm saying I'm so depressed. That means I'm not choosing the right thoughts. I'm not choosing the right thoughts with which to identify or which to recognize. There are so many different thoughts, but I'm choosing thoughts of depression. So, Vedanta teaches us how to choose not only the right mobiles, not only the right kind of vegetables, but to go into the inner world and select the right kind of thoughts. So, maybe we didn't even know till now that we can select which thoughts we want to have. Can I select uplifting thoughts? Can I select happy thoughts? Can I select helpful thoughts? Can I select the thoughts that will lead me towards liberation? So, this is what Vedanta does. It fine tunes the intellect, and it turns us into wise people who are able to use the intellect in the right way to select the right kind of thoughts that we want to have in our mind. In fact, Vedanta is not even saying have this thought, but it is saying have a very sharp discrimination so that you will always know what kind of thoughts to choose, what kind of thoughts to have. So it is a wonderful tool to use. All of us have tools. We have this inner tool also, inner wealth. We don't need to have a lot of money. If I want to study engineering, I must have lakhs of rupees. I have to pay big hefty fees. But to walk on the path of Vedanta towards self knowledge, towards recognizing my true nature, all I need is inner wealth. I need to have the inner wealth of Viveka and other four qualities which will be spoken about later. So, this is what Prabhuji is telling us. Subject object, we are so used to it in the external world, but in the inner world, who am I actually? We think this personality is me, this body, mind, intellect is me, and what I see outside is object, that is the world. But when we start studying Vedanta, when we start applying the special logic that Vedanta teaches us to apply, that we learn as we study Tattva Bodha, we understand that I am not even this body, mind, and intellect. I am something beyond that. I am that which is powering the body, mind, and intellect. I am that witness which is ever present. So, this is what Vedanta teaches us. This is what we are going to learn in Tattva Bodha, and we are going to understand what is the inner wealth we need in the further shlokas that we are going to get. So, thank you. And I now hand over to Prabhaji, who will share about the 8th talk on Tattva Bodha given by Prabhuji.
Namaste, everyone. I am Prabha, also known as Bhavna. And yes, I've been chasing after things throughout whatever my life. I've been wondering what am I expecting? What am I doing? I used to keep wondering because from age 7 and 8, I've been dragged to lectures by Swami Chinmaya, or I've been sent to go and study in Sri Satya Sai institutions. I have been listening to people at home talking about Swami Ramdas from Kanyangad, or it could be Sridhar Swami's pravachan, or whatever it is, because people at home had this. And growing up in that family and getting married to Shivanand Bandekar was actually not much of a culture shock or a jump. Yes, but it was a connection. There was a bridge. But I still was not very true on I didn't know whether to take up that walk on the bridge. I did try. And now I think I've started realizing, understanding that whatever I've been doing all these, say, 60 years of my life, I think trying to teach children, because I've been a teacher, I've been a learner, I've been just growing all the time and trying to sort of still chasing after something. Now, listening to all of you, I think I'm slowly trying to understand. Yes, I did even learn the subject philosophy because that was something which was the only option I had. But at that point of time, when I did study Shankara's Advaita or Ramanujacharya's or Madhvacharya's, whatever the philosophies, the Mimamsa, I was more of a hedonist. I preferred being a hedonist. Just eat, play, be happy, and today, and that's it. That was my kind of a belief. Now I think I'm opening up to something different. I'm actually doing it as a kind of, what do you say, learning, that a conscious learning. I want to do it as a conscious learning because this is what I would like to give as a tribute to my husband. I just lost him in February. So please excuse me if I'm being a little emotional, but yes, this is all for his sake. I want to learn what he did all these years, which I pretended I didn't want to understand, but though at the back of my mind, I used to be, forever waiting to know what is he doing? What is he exactly? I mean, on which path he was. I'm sure wherever he is, he's going to be happy that I'm at least getting onto the first step today. That's it. And when Prabhuji's T8 talk started off Nitya Anitya Vastu Viveka, it was so much close. It was a connection, temporary and permanence, the ephemeral and the eternal. It was something beautiful. I felt that, yes, we are constantly in pursuit of something. And the real pursuit of happiness is what we have lost on our, we have sidetracked it and got so involved with the present, the unwanted, the mundane. I mean, of course, because that is, we are human and we need to be there. We need to sort of, pay attention. But then what Prabhuji's talk is, why are we giving so much of an importance to those things when there is something better? Which all the time I think I was being told it's there at the back of my mind. And now it's coming to the forefront more in a determined way. And I think I should learn about it. I love the anecdotes that Prabhuji has made it so simple to make us understand regarding, when a person thinks of what is his purpose in life. Is it a purpose or a goal? So we are constantly chasing after the goals. It's like, we have just started looking at Maslow's theory of the needs. We're still, I'm still there. I'm still at the base level of, trying to get into my needs. Maybe the second level I've arrived, and to reach self-actualization is going to take some time for me. But I would love to take that path because what Prabhuji says is simplified. He says that it is, it's like if I have to put it in a few words, it's the pursuit of possession could lead to an overwhelming emptiness. I believe in that, yes. The pursuit of possessions, the pursuit of mundane life, the pursuit of materialism, the pursuit of transactions, it's an overwhelming emptiness. And the pursuit of joy should be the purpose of life. And that is something which, yes, all of us, if we, and as Vani ma'am said, Vaniji said that about mumukshus, yes, we are all seekers. And whether we are seekers of liberation, seekers of higher advanced steps towards something, it's up to us because we need to understand that we have it within us. And I remember what my late husband used to always say, every soul is potentially divine, and we are just moving towards that main purpose, with that purpose in mind, towards the main, that little point which is supposed to be the Paramatman. If we are going to seek that, and if we do it in our own ways, if I do it in my pace, because I used to always argue with him saying that, why do you want me to take up your path? And it may be just like a marathon race. You are there somewhere. I'm still just trying to take up. And I know one of you mentioned about baby steps. Yes, totally baby steps. I'm still crawling. I'm a toddler, but I would love to reach that. And with Guruji's simplified teachings of the Vedanta brought to a layman's ideas, layman's perception, I think it's so beautiful, especially when he says, we are so ensnared, we are so captivated by, oh, yes, I need to get this, I need to do this, I need to. The main factor is we are only thinking of, I need to get a job. Yes, I'm happy. The next minute, I'm not happy because I didn't get the promotion. Then when I get the promotion, I'm happy. And then, so these are all very ephemeral. These are all very temporary. Finally, look for something which is permanent, that is within me, within the I in me, the I that has to go in for a permanent change. Because I love the way he said, there are certain things, yes, change is constant. We all agree with it. And the objective way of looking at things, the objective experiences are all going to be the temporary experiences. And the final experience is that which is going to be the subjective experience? No, but instead, who has been experiencing it? It's the I. So if I allow that I to get on to the next level, climb those stairs and reach somewhere, I'm sure it's going to get what is expected. Finally, I used to even argue with my husband saying, God is being very, I mean, the creator, God, whoever it is, the Paramatman, why did he create this universe? It's a mirror image of him. Fine. He wants us all to go back to him, but why did he create then? What is the fun in creating and saying, okay, all of you crawl back to me? Where is that purpose? And maybe all these answers, all the questions, all that I'm seeking for will happen in these beautiful, the kind of tete-a-tete or the conversations that we're having with each other will help me. And I'm sure Prabhuji's talks will also help me. I'm sorry because I'm still a novice when it comes to ideas and things, but I feel that I've got a whole lot of confusions in my mind, and I'm thankful to Vaniji for giving me this opportunity to be with you people to learn. I want to be a learner, constant. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Prabhaji. Shivanand Bandekarji was always a very dear friend, and it's so wonderful to have you now on this journey with all of us. So welcome. All of us are taking baby steps, so not to worry. It's
Yeah,
not
at
like,
least, no, maybe at least you're standing and walking. I'm still crawling. I don't know. I don't know what it is.
yeah. Most welcome. Most welcome to be part of the Dakshinamurti AVSC group.
Thank you.
And so till now we have studied that life is a stress. For all of us, we experience life as being stressful because we are trying to, we are superimposing that which changes on that which does not change. We are superimposing the body, mind, and intellect on the changeless self, which is our true nature. So if we want to be free from stress, then we need Vedanta, we need a Sadguru. So God is equal to Sadguru is equal to the self or the Atma, which is equal to bliss, peace. It is existence, consciousness, bliss. So in essence, all three are the same. So if we pray to Ishvara for help, we say, I'm so tired of this existence, I'm so tired of this life. Things keep coming and going all the time. There is so much stress. Please help me. Please take me towards permanent happiness. Then he sends a guru. He comes in the form of a guru to give us Atma Vidya. So in Atma Vidya, we are not learning anything new. We are unlearning what we have already learned wrongly. We are unlearning the thought that I am the body, mind, and intellect, which is ingrained so deeply within us. It's just a belief. We are going to let it go. We are not adding on more language, more ideas, more knowledge. So Vedanta or Tattva Bodha is going to teach us to recognize our true nature by letting go of all the other baggage, unwanted baggage, which is obscuring it. So for that, we need 4 qualifications. And out of that, we have studied the first qualification called Viveka, and the other qualifications are yet to come. So this is where we have reached today. Are there any questions or anything else that we would like to share? Any insights or any questions from any of us? No questions are silly.
I am very happy to have joined this group at last after a lot of wavering. I am grateful to Prabhuji. I am very grateful to Vaniji too. Uh, I joined this mainly for Vaniji.
Oh, thank you.
I am I am a fan of her. You know, uh, in the end, if it has to be summarized, she does it so, you do it so nicely, Vaniji, that
Thank
you know,
you.
and all the lectures which I have been hearing uh, in self awareness and Arvina Habba and all that has really attracted me to join this group. Really, that is the reason, and I am very grateful to God for having made me take this decision. Thank you, Vaniji.
Yeah, wonderful to have you with us. Anybody else has any questions that you would like to discuss in the group? Any doubts that you came across while listening, something you didn't understand, or something on which you would like more elaboration?
This group is very interesting. All
Yes,
the people have different perspectives, and the same thing is expressed in such different ways. It's very nice, very
yes,
interesting.
that
Thank
was
you.
the amazing part. I really enjoyed listening to each one of you. Such beautiful ways of expressing the truth. I
Hello,
think that
madam.
was amazing. Yes, Chandrika.
Um, Madam, I am really confused. I'm even after listening to so many lectures and all,
Hmm.
why we are not able to recognize that soul or Chetana? It is
Hmm.
so, they have made it so difficult to understand ourselves. Why, madam? Is there any shortcut?
This is the
Or
shortcut we are
what is
following.
the, my question is, how do we recognize it? People say in silence you are in peace, and that voice is inner. It is in you. Mean it's really not. I am not able to get it, madam. Even after trying. Okay,
Uh,
I understand. Mind becomes cool, and you become. I mean, very quiet. But that silence is that the answer, madam? I'm really confused.
Yeah. Who is confused? Who is aware that you're
Oh, you are
confused?
coming back to
No, no,
Ramana
no.
again.
No, no, no. I'm just telling you.
Yeah, that was Ramana.
No, no, not the Ramana. I'm
Yeah,
actually showing you how to know your true nature. There is somebody who knows you're confused. There is somebody who knows when you're silent. There is somebody who knows when thoughts are coming. So, who is it? Who is that somebody? Who is that witness? There is a witness, right? There is a witness who says, who knows that you're confused. There is a witness who knows when the mind, you said, when the mind becomes silent, is that me? When there is thought, is that me? Is there a shortcut? That thought came, somebody was aware. So that someone inside, that witness, that awareness which knows all the time what is happening inside, what is happening outside, without which you cannot understand, you cannot know anything. That knowing principle is the self. That awareness is the self.
thank you, madam. Thank you.
Was
Vaniji,
it
I have
helpful?
a story. I have a little story to tell.
Yeah, yeah,
Can I
please.
share?
Yeah,
There was a big conference among the gods. Okay,
yeah.
where shall we keep the Atma?
Hmm.
If you keep it beyond seven seas, beyond seven mountains, wherever you keep it,
Hmm.
this human being will go and search it out.
Mm.
We have to keep it in such a way that he doesn't go there at all.
Mm.
And they found out there is one person who said, that's easy. Just keep it in his own heart.
Mm.
We have all our Indriyas turned outwards, like the fan.
Yes.
It is in the half a circle, this thing. The other half is something we don't know to go to. That is inwards.
Mm-hmm.
So they kept it in our heart. That is the reason why we are just, struggling like this. So there was a small story. A person, a diamond merchant, was traveling, like in those days, and there was a thief who found out this man is a diamond merchant. And when he went to sleep in that chowl tree, he lay down beside him, acted as though he was sleeping. When he saw that this man was totally asleep, in deep sleep, he got up and he searched and searched and searched everywhere. The bundle of diamond he was not able to find out. So the next morning, he woke up and he asked him, "Sir, I'm a thief. I wanted to get your diamonds, but I'm very curious. Where the hell did you hide that diamonds? I searched whole night. Yeah, it was under your pillow," he said. It was under the thief's pillow.
Mm.
So that's
Yes.
how it is in our heart. And we are finding it difficult because we don't have that range.
Mm. Yeah.
So
Thank you for that story. That's a beautiful analogy, but actually also self is everywhere. The awareness, principle of awareness, Satchitananda or self, it is actually everywhere. And what we see, the world or the body, mind, and intellect, all that is a superimposition on the self or awareness. So, an easy way to find out is always who is aware. I'm not trying to escape from a question by saying, ask who am I, but there is somebody who is aware, and that witness, the one who is aware all the time, that is actually the self. But we ignore that. We tend to ignore it because it is so much taken for granted. Without that principle of awareness, without the principle of through which we know everything, the knowing principle, we would not be able to be aware of anything, whether it is outside or inside. We would not be able to understand anything. We would not be able to recognize anything. So it is that knowing principle, and it takes time. Even in a shortcut, which we are doing now, the direct path of Atma Vichara, which is supposed to be the shortest path, the direct path, even there it takes repeated listening because we are conditioned. We have just fooled ourselves. I am this body, mind, and intellect. We have fooled ourselves. So many other goals in life are important. So to let go of that baggage, it takes time. So for that, Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasa, and Seva. Seva is even sharing knowledge that we are all doing now, that is also Seva. So that is the step. I mean, those are the baby steps all of us are taking. Repeated, because you have to overwrite that program. You have to erase the old program. That's all. So once that old program is erased, what remains is only the self. So we are all doing that Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasa through this AVSC also, Dakshinamurti AVSC. That is what we are doing. We are doing the tedious process of erasing old programs, letting go. And it takes time because we are really holding on tight. So to loosen that grip and let go will take some time of Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasa. Listen, contemplate, abide. Anything else?
I would like to know when is the next program,
Yeah.
and
So
since I have another meeting to attend at 7,
yeah,
so I thought
we'll
we can break.
at 7,
Yeah.
is it? Yeah. So we will just a minute. Let us finish the ending prayer and stop the recording, and then we can discuss the next thing. So can you see the document where the prayer is there?
No, we can't see it.
You can't see, is it? Okay, I'll lead you through it. Just everybody please mute. We'll do lead, repeat. Let us offer our gratitude to Sri Prabhuji, to whom we are getting this wonderful knowledge, and gratitude to each one of you who have been part of the sharing. Please check if you are muted. We can hear an echo. Everybody, please check if you are muted. Please mute. So with this gratitude in our heart, let us chant these prayers. May whatever we have understanding has been generated through this Jnana Yajna, let us offer it for the welfare of all beings in the world. Asato ma sadgamaya, asato ma sadgamaya, tamaso ma jyotirgamaya, tamaso ma jyotirgamaya, mrityorma amritam gamaya, mrityorma amritam gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Purnamada Purnamidam Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Purnameva Vashishyate. ನಾನು ನಾನೆಂಬುದು ನಾನಲ್ಲ, ನಾನು ನಾನೆಂಬುದು ನಾನಲ್ಲ, ಈ ದೇಹ ಮನಬುದ್ಧಿ ನಾನಲ್ಲ, ಈ ದೇಹ ಮನಬುದ್ಧಿ ನಾನಲ್ಲ, ಸಚ್ಚಿದಾನಂದಾತ್ಮ ಶಿವನಾನು ನಾನೇ, ಸಚ್ಚಿದಾನಂದಾತ್ಮ ಶಿವನಾನು ನಾನೇ, ಶಿವೋಹಂ 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 ಶಿವೋಹಂ. I am not the body, mind or intellect. I am not the body, mind or intellect. I am pure consciousness, Shiva Swarupi. I am pure consciousness, Shiva Swarupi. Atmadarshanam Brahmadarshanam Atmadarshanam Brahmadarshanam Brahmadarshanam Satyadarshanam Brahmadarshanam Satyadarshanam. Lokaha samastaha sukhino bhavantu. Lokaha samastaha sukhino bhavantu. Lokaha samastaha sukhino bhavantu. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.